The RSX is getting painted today, so we're pretty much gonna try to fix all these blemishes that had existed. So these dents here on the hood, all the paint fade, new headlights, gonna paint the bumper, fix the fitment of the fender, a lot of paint fade and kind of clear coat kind of coming off all over the car. And so it's going to be really exciting just to get this thing fixed. But a few other dents, you can see there's like a giant scratch on the side here. As I was saying, there's scratches here and there, there's dents along the body, little small ones, but the wing is fading significantly. And then this lip over here is cut, and so we're going to replace it with a new one. And the new one that I have is going to be, let me open the trunk first. It's going to be right over here. You can't see it too well, but it's a Type R lip, rear lip for the car, and so I have it there and ready for the guys to install. A little more dents here. There's a dent on the rear quarter panel there. The bumper fitment is not so good since the accident with the RSX from the previous owner. More deep scratches along the body, as you can see here and here. I don't see anything along the door. Actually, maybe there's a dent here, subtle dent there, and there's a little dent here where the side marker would be. You can feel the indentation there, and then there's a big scratch along this side. So hopefully they'll be able to get the car working. Found a good shop. I'm gonna drive to it now, and really excited to get this thing painted. So today we're getting the car painted, and what I have is everything ready to go. I have the Type R lip that I'm going to be replacing in the back, and we're going to roll down the windows and start the car because it's really hot right now. So it's a really exciting day because we got mostly everything done. You could hear the Spoon N1 axle back exhaust in the back. Sounds great. Gives a little bit more rumble, it's deeper tones. And then as you can see here, these are just some pads just for some comfort, but these are the Acura SR4 seats, changed on the passenger side. You can see back here it's in the Wildcat blue, and over here is the Type R blue door sills. And so really excited because the interior is looking really polished, but the exterior just doesn't look good. I can show you guys some photos of what that looks like. But today we're gonna just get the car running and just drive over to a friend's house first, and then get the car painted, just drop it off at the shop. And so that's what we're doing today. I actually put a lot more parts that I was planning on doing later on the car, because I decided to change out the oil pan because this car was tapped for turbo, and when I got the car and I did my first oil change, I noticed like all the gunk around it, but then I noticed like a bunch of gasket as well as like a weld and an extra like nozzle in the oil pan, and like right then and there I knew it was tapped for turbo. and not done very well because there's so much gasket around it. So dropped the subframe, and I had the K2 oil pan gasket, and I don't like messy jobs, and I was kind of like holding it off for so long, but since the car was going to be down in the garage on jack stands for a week, I figured best time to do it is now. So I dropped the subframe, cleaned off and pulled out the pan. There was 18 bolts there, and then took them all out, put the K2 pan in the new 5-wheel cover, and was good to go. Bought new subframe bolts, and then when I was down there, I noticed I was gonna put energy suspension inserts in for the front and the rear, and it's the easiest time to do them when the subframe's down because nothing's in your way. And I also got to say, like, when you take off the subframe, you take off those two mounts, and so it's just connected from the transmission mount and the passenger side kind of engine mount. And man, that thing shakes when you're underneath changing out the oil pan. I put a jack stand underneath because I was kind of scared, but it really shakes. Like, it's pretty scary. But that kind of told me, like, all the weight that kind of holds down your motor is really happening from the front and the rear. From what I can tell. And so, I mean, all four of them work together to hold that power, but it was like pretty a wobbly engine. But what was I gonna say? Putting the motor mount inserts in, I was feeling around the front motor mount, and it was so loose, the play where the bolt connects, it was just kind of moving side by side, and what I could tell is it was so loose that, you know, it wasn't normal. And I got my OEM one that I had, the new one I bought, and it was a lot firmer, and so it told me there was something going on there. So I took off that motor mount and saw that it was torn on one side, and so that front motor mount was gone. And some people just kind of put the insert just as a patch up, but I decided to replace it and put the insert, so it's holding a lot more power. The car, I don't know if you can see the steering wheel here, it's a little shaky from the energy suspension inserts, but people say it'll settle down, or if they're used to it. I have the AC on right now because it's hot, and that adds to the vibration, but it's not so bad for me. But it's really holding the engine power down now. Like, I don't feel any wheel hop, and it's feeling real good. But I had to change that, and I just figured all the other motor mounts are kind of like in some weird place. You know, it's an older car, it was running turbo, a lot of power to the wheels on stock mounts probably. There was like one energy insert on one side of the car, so I think they tried to put it in. Maybe they didn't put it the whole thing, but that was kind of a weird. But I actually suspected that, so I picked up some. I think I'm turning here. I picked up some Type R motor mounts for $60, really cheap, and I suspect it has like around 60,000 miles on it, just because they're from Japan and they were taken off the car. And generally those motors have 60 to 80,000, so it's in far better condition. The rubber's a little actually harder from what I noticed, and you know, so I put those in. Obviously I only had the rear and the transmission side and the passenger engine side, so the front it was, I was going to replace it with a new one anyway, so it was great. So I was able to replace it with all of them, and car's running a lot better now, so I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, now, you know, I'll tell you more updates on the interior and kind of what I've done since then, but we're ready to just kind of drop this car off. Just gonna meet up at my friend's house first, and then we'll go from there. But that's kind of what I'm doing. Car's gonna get painted. I'm filming right now to drop it off, but I think I'll show you guys what it looks like when the next time you see this, or I'll stitch together the same video. It'll be when the car's finished painting. So as soon super excited about that, and we'll talk more. Just got the car, looks really good. So I just got the car back. It's been painted. Pretty happy with it. You get real close. Has a little shine now. Honda emblem there. So it took them about 5 weeks to do. They said 2 to 3 weeks, but you know, I just accounted for it taking longer. But overall, it's looks good. Just walking around so y'all can see, but this is the new car. New old car, but restored to Arctic Blue Pearl.